Let's now go through my 2023 AFL ladder predictions. In 18th place, I have the Hawks. The reason I have the Hawks is pretty plain and simple. They lost Jaeger O'Meara, they lost Tom Mitchell, they lost Jack Gunston. They brought in Carl Amon and Lloyd Meek, which I love their moves they made. But they can't seem to handle their ruck duos at the moment. You've got Meek, Lynch, Reeves, Ramsden. Do they know what they're doing? In terms of, they're not going to position well. I like the Lloyd Meek and Carl Amon moves. In fact, I love their moves. I thought they were great moves. But they lost their two best mids in O'Meara and Mitchell. They lost their best forward in Jack Gunston. Luke Bruce can't do it all on his own. And I think it's going to be a bad year for the Hawks. A developing year, rebuilding year. People don't like the rebuild word, but that's what they're doing. So that's why I have the Hawks in 18th place. In 17th place, I have the Eagles. Now, I had them tipped to win the Wooden Spoon last year, and it almost happened. But again, the Eagles, I just don't see any improvement. People are like, they had some injuries. Yeah, they did. Yo, Shuey, and they were out time to time. Gaff was out at one point, I think. McGovern, Barras, had some COVID issues at the start of the season. But they all came back throughout the year. And they didn't really show much, the team. So I don't see any improvement again. They only brought in Jaden Hunt, which again, I like that move for Jaden Hunt. Ruben Jinby, a top draft pick. Elijah Hewitt. Some good moves there. But overall, I don't see any improvement from the side. So I have them in 17th position. In 16th place, just speaking of the Roos, I have the Roos in 16th place. Clarko coming in will help them, a lot. But will it happen in the wins-loss column? I don't know. They'll gain some more wins. In fact, it wouldn't surprise me if they finish as high as 14th. But I've got them in 16th, the Roos. Griffin Logue, terrific in. Brought in Darcy Tucker as well. They lost Jason Horn-Francis. They drafted Harry Sheezel, which I love that pick of Harry Sheezel, and George Wardlaw, and Braden George. But yeah, I don't see any improvement overall for them. Nick Larkey's their only good key forward. Griffin Logue's going to play defence with Ben Mackay. But yeah, again, overall, I don't see them doing well at all. In 15th place, this may be not debatable for me. It was a pretty plain choice, simple choice for me. But the Bomber fans, I got you boys, your club in 15th place now. Before we get up in arms going, we'll be up there this year. No, you won't. Please, you won't. And if I'm wrong, I'll admit it, but I won't be wrong in this. The Bombers will be towards the bottom. In fact, look, put it this way, Bombers fans. You're not making the 8. And if you finish anywhere near the 8, I'll be surprised. But you're definitely not making the 8. Definitely not making the 8. Essendon Football Club are definitely not making the 8. Elijah Sutton was a top draft pick. They picked him, but he's injured now, unfortunately, for a few months. So he won't play the first 6-day weeks. But yeah, I don't see really any improvement at all from the Bombers. I think they'll struggle again. They might be the bottom sides here and there, but I'd be very surprised if they beat anyone from my 12th and up range. So, yeah. In 14th place, I have the Giants. Now, they've had some good draft picks. Aaron Cadman, Darcy Jones, a few other guys as well. Jason Gilby. You seem to be popular now on social media, Jason Gilby. There's your shout out, mate. Yeah, but again, the Giants. I like the Giants. Brought in Adam Kingsley to replace Leon Cameron and Mark McVeigh technically as well. But yeah, the Giants, look, I didn't want to have them bottom because I think they're far better than the bottom sides I just mentioned, the Eagles, the Roos, Bombers and Eagles. I really do. Can they make the 8? I don't know. Them beating the Suns in the practice match, I know it's only a practice match, but they beat them by about 50-odd points, which made me thinking, am I going to regret putting them this low? But I am going to. The Giants in 14th place. In 13th place, I got the Crows. Well, what's to say? A lot of people, not a lot, but some people have them in the 8. I just don't understand that. They brought Isaac Rankin in. Great. Perfect get. Still of a get. But that's all. I just don't see how. They lost Billy Frampton to the Pies. Yeah, I don't see much difference for the Crows. Unfortunately, Matt Crouch broke his leg and will miss a little bit. But yeah, I don't see any major improvement from the Crows. They did have some good games against top sides, and I think they beat Melbourne at one point. And they definitely did the year Nick Murray was debated about. when he's spoiled, or was it rushed behind or something, or out of bounds thing. But yeah, no, the Crows have seen that pop up here and there against some big name sides and win, or at least get close. But look, would it shock me if they made the 8? It would. If they were around 10th and 11th, not really. But the 8, I think so. So I got the Crows at 13th. Now, from 12th onwards, I could see any of these sides making the 8. Now, again, fans of this club, please calm down. I just said you could make the 8, but somebody's going to miss out. And there's 4 teams that are going to miss out right now. 12, 11, 10 and 9. And in 12th place, we've got the Western Bulldogs. Now, saying why, Scoops, they brought in they brought in Rory Lobb. Yeah, they did. But I don't see any major improvement. Sorry, Bev. But I don't. Rory Lobb's in. What are you going to do with all those tools? Norton, Bruce, Keith. I don't know what you're going to do. You just lost St. Cordy to the Saints. But brought Rory Lobb in. It's a good move. I like it. What are you doing with Norton, with Jamara, with Sam Darcy? What are you doing with all those tools now? You're going to be playing Brucey in the back line, I see. Sam Darcy, where's he playing? Is Norton capable of playing back? Absolutely. But can they afford to do that? It's some moves they're going to have to think about. Their midfield, their midfield's great, headlined by McRae, but they lost Josh Dunkley as well, which I think is a bigger loss than people really think. A versatile mid that can play forward and kick goals. The Bulldogs have struggled with their forward line. Yeah, you got Waitman and Norton, and Dunkley was their third best forward. In fact, I had him better than Waitman, to be honest, and Norton for that matter. So they lost their best forward as well. So I see them in 12th position, but again, they can make the 8. In 11th position, again, another club that will get upset here, or fans will, of this club. The Tigers at 11th. Now you're going, oh, Coop, come on, mate. Some people have got him in the 8, the top 4. How could you have him 11th? Yeah, Hopper and Torino. Torino's a great in. Fantastic in. Hopper in, I'm not so sure. The Giants, he's an okay mid. Like, he's not amazing, he's not bad. But then again, well, I think I debated this on a podcast with the trade period. 7 years for Torino and Hopper. Torino is great. 7 years, come on. Then Hopper, 7 years. On big money too. No wonder he joined Richmond. Like, seriously, that's a poor move. They could come back to bite them soon. You see what it's done with Collingwood with Grundy and Treloar and Stevenson and Tom Phillips when they had to take them out because of salary cap reasons. Richmond could be in that position down the road as well. Say Martin, if he goes on for another 2 years, how's that going to fit their salary cap? Cochin may go, sure. But there's no one else on big money that's leaving anytime soon outside of potentially Cochin. So it's a gamble to do that. It may pay off on the field, but down the line, salary cap, it may stuff it up. But again, we're talking about predictions. So you give me sidetracked so easily, guys. But yeah, Hopper, Torino in, great. Torino's a big in. Hopper, not so much for me. Yeah, so I have him in 11th. Again, they can make the 8. I don't get the top 4 hype, though. In 10th place, I've got the Blues, Carlton, in 10th place. Now, originally, I think in my January predictions, I had them in the 8, I'm pretty sure. They haven't done anything wrong. I've just had a train of thought with a few sides that have gone up and a few sides that have gone down. And Carlton, I just slid down a little bit. I think they can still make that. They're a good side. Harry Mackay, Charlie Curnow, Jack Silvani is their forward line. The Ruckman, Pitnet, and Tom de Koning is still a question mark for me. I have him in 10th. Blake Acres, though, is a great in. Nick Austin's done a great job bringing in Blake Acres. Steal of the trade period, one of, anyway. Yeah, I don't know. With Carlton, I think they can make the 8. Top 4, no. But yeah, I got him in 10th place, the Blues. In 9th place, I really wanted to put this side in the 8. I really, really did. They have some of the best young players in the comp. But the Suns, the Gold Coast Suns, I have them in 9th place. I wanted them in the 8. I really, really wanted to put them in the 8. I debated this position the most between Gold Coast and 2 other sides who I have in my 8, just in the 8. I debated between those 3 sides going, which one's going to miss? Which one's going to miss? And unfortunately, it was the Suns. I had more faith in the two other sides I'm about to tell you next. Just. Only very, very minuscule. Just. I wanted to put them in the 8, but unfortunately I didn't. Suns, I think they can make the 8. Well publicised. I like the Suns as well. Ben King. All hail the King is back. Playing half a game in the Pracky match against the Giants. Kicked a goal. We'll wait and see how they go. I hope they go well. I hope they make the 8, to be honest. Touk Miller. I'm just sick of the hate the Suns cop. Going, I haven't made the finals before. They're no good. They're going to be a nothing club. Get rid of the Suns. Load of crap. Got some good young players. Will Powell, Mac Andrew, Charlie Ballard, Bailey Humphrey, Ben Ainsworth. I can go through almost the whole team. Charlie Constable has seemed to rejuvenate himself playing off half-back now. I see the Suns finishing 9th. I'm sorry, Suns fans. And to the boys that I know, there's a lot of Suns players that watch my podcast. So apologies. I hope you guys make that. I think you can. But I got using 9th place. Sorry. Very sorry. I am. In 8th place, one of the two sides I had just ahead of the Suns is the Power. Now, I had the Power very high in my rankings in January. Slid them down about 3 or 4 spots. They haven't really done anything wrong. It's just the size I've slid up. I've seemed to perform really well in the Pracky games, or I just think they're going to be drastically better. They haven't had most injuries, yada, yada, yada. So the Power in 8th. They are still very capable of making the top 4. I would not rule it out. I really won't. That's why I had them 4th in my January predictions. It wasn't a piss take. It wasn't me trolling. I genuinely thought they could make the top 4. And I still think they can. But the improvement of sometimes the better I mentioned is why I got them in 8th place, basically. You know, Horn Francis come in. Junior Rioli came in as well. Solid moves there. Then you got Rosie, Butters, Dersma, Georgiades, Finlayson, Todd Marshall, Charlie Dixon, Scotty Lysett, Alia, Trent McKenzie, Riley Bonner, Lockie Jones, Miles Bergman. They've got so many good players. There's some I missed. Travis Boak, Ollie Wines. How could I forget them? So Josh Sin, the young player as well. So I have the Power making the 8. I don't know how they don't make the 8 with that side they got. Kind of Rosie, Butters, Dersma, the fantastic trio from that draft. I will say this, and I've said this for a while. If I haven't said it publicly, I'm pretty sure I have. Said to a lot of mates of mine. That draft trio, Rosie, Butters, and Dersma, is the best trio draft in one solitary draft of at least the last 10 years. I kid you not. Rosie, Butters, if you were to draft them in this year's draft with Ashcroft, Filippo, and the like, Rosie and Butters would be top 3. Top 4. If not top 3, definitely top 4. You would have Rosie and Butters with Filippo and Ashcroft in the top 4, and Dersma would be top 10 for sure. But that's where I got the Power. In 7th place, I have my Saints. I slid them down 1 spot from 6 in Jan. The injuries are the only reason why I've slid the Saints down. I don't get the Saints hate. I really don't. It's tiring. It's old. You want to keep bagging me about the Saints? I don't care anymore. I simply don't. If we do well, you shit on us. We do bad, you're all over it. When we win, you either shit on it and make an excuse for us winning, and the other team had injuries, or you had more free kicks. Like, please, I don't care anymore what you think about the Saints. It's all that matters is what I think of them. It's my show, not yours. Get your own podcast. The Saints finishing in 7th place. The injuries doesn't help with Max King, Jack Hayes, potentially Timmy Memory in doubt for round 1. I said Ross in doubt for round 1. Marcus Winhager in doubt for round 1. The tall department up forward has been hit hard. Ross, the boss, is back. I love that move. Go check the videos they've been ready for months ago in November period, October. Love the move. Ross, the boss, is back. Love the move. Had a great win against the Bombers. It's just not how we beat it's how we beat the Bombers. It was great form. Punished them with the wind. Their fans are still whinging about the wind. But yeah, I think that Billings out as well. That hurts. But I think Filippo, we'll get to Filippo later in a certain segment. It'll be the X factor of this year's draft. But people are just saying, you're saying it now because you've interviewed him twice and, he's a saner now. No. I was saying that well before I even interviewed him. So just telling you that right now. And he knows that. All aboard the Filippo train. Gresh, Maxi King when he comes back. Timmy Membry. Timmy Membry is one of the most underrated players in this competition. The Saints got a better draw finally for the first time in yonks. Legitimately. So I see the Saints finishing in 7th place. In 6th place, I've got the Pies. Back up the ladder for me. I think I had him in 7th. I got him in 6th place now, the Pies. Craig McRae is doing a great job yet again with the Pies. Headlined by Darcy Cameron in the ruck. Scotty Pendlebury's doing well. Nick Dacos, he should make the All-Australian squad this year. His brother Josh is doing well. Dan McStay will be a great get for from the Lions to the Pies. People are undervaluing Dan McStay. I'm not. He's a ripper player. He had his best career year last year to Dan McStay from the Lions. And that's why I got the Pies in 6th place. And I think they could even finish in the top 4, to be honest, as well. In 5th place, I've upgraded the Melbourne Football Club dramatically. Now, when I didn't have him in the 8 in January, you're probably thinking, Coop, come on, mate. I wasn't so sure the Grundy-Gawn duo would work. It seems so far to have worked. Not for Supercoach reasons. I just think it's worked well. In Saints, it worked pretty well. But yeah. I think they'll be up there again, though. What's more to say? They're the same side, and they've added Brodie Grundy and Lockie Hunter. But Brodie Grundy's a big one, and I think this will work well for them. Not for Supercoach, which I'll get to that at some point too. So in 4th place, I've got the Dockers. Now, people are going, oh, come on, Scoops. Or this is a bold move, or it's a good move. I like it. Now, I'm going to tell you all why. Now, I'm probably going to have people crapping on me for this. So I'm going to tell you why. You're probably saying, oh, come on, Coop. They lost Logue. They lost Lobb, Akers, Tucker. And there was a 5th one. Who was the 5th one? There was a 5th one. They lost 5 players. Tucker, Logue, Lobb, Akers, and there was a flip. There was a 5th. Can't believe I'm forgetting the 5th. There was a 5th player. Anyway, they were all big losses, all 5 of them. Here's something I'm going to tell you. Griffin Logue, albeit being very good, he's playing mainly forward, but Freo have got millions upon millions of key defenders. Got Brendan Cox, Alex Pearce, Joel Hamling, who's not even getting the game at the moment, Luke Ryan. They don't need Griffin Logue. He's a great player and a great get for the Roos. So that position is filled. Lob. Luke Jackson came into the side. He's taken Griffin. Oh, Lloyd Meek was the other one they lost. They brought in replacements for all these guys. Already had replacements for those guys. Lob. Luke Jackson is a replacement play up forward. And he also, Jackson, replaces Lloyd Meek as the second ruck option. So, 2 for 1 there. Luke Jackson covers Lob and Meek. And then O'Meara covers Akers in the midfield group. Now, you can see he's not a wingman, no. That midfield rotation, you can play someone else out there. Liam Henry's trialling there. Ethan Hughes is trialling out there. They've got cover. They've got backup, the Dockers. So, all those losses, albeit important, they've all been covered. And Darcy Tucker was playing twos the rest of the year, and he was injured as well. So, they've covered all bases there, the Dockers. So, yes, they've lost some good players, those 5, but they gained Jackson and O'Meara to cover some holes there. And then there's current players on that list that cover those holes. Everyone knows I'm a big fan of Andy Brayshaw, Hayden Young, Heath Chapman. Another great 3 as well. But they weren't in the same draft. Well, not in the same group like Rosie, Butters and Dersma. Great defence. Great ruckman, Sean Darcy. One of the best ruckmen in the competition. You can't doubt that. With Witsy and Rowan Marshall and Gordon Grundy. So, I got him in 4th place for a reason. I think they can go all the way, the Dockers. But I got him in 4th place. In 3rd place, I have the Swans. I mean, what's to say? The Swannies, they're on fire at the moment in the preseason games. I know it's a practice match, but still. The Swans did well. They were playing in the grand final with Geelong, so obviously they're going to be up there again. I'm in 3rd place. I don't get the narrative of people saying they're not going to even make the 8 now. It's ridiculous. We're in the 8, fair enough, but not out of the 8. That's just ridiculous. Parker, Heaney, Papley, Rampy. Do you want me to keep going? Chad Warner, Cunningham, Florent, McCartan. Like, do you want me to keep going on and on and on? Sam Reid, Buddy, Lance, Buddy Franklin. Probably in his last year, but still going well. So, yeah, the narrative of the Swans not making the 8 is ridiculous. But I got him in third place. The second place, I got the Premiers, Geelong. Going on cope. They just won the granny. You got to have them. The Premiers. You got to have them in first place. No, you don't. Doesn't necessarily mean the Premiers come from the first position either. By the way, they got him in first place. Second place, Geelong. Sorry, they added Bowes, which that move pick 7. I'm still not happy with that. Ridiculous. Tannen Bruin. They brought in Ollie Henry as well. Some young players, and they basically got them all for nothing really. If you add it all up together. And they brought in Jai Clark at the draft, a top draft pick, with that Jack Bowes freebie pick. Not happy with that still. So they're going to be dangerous again, unfortunately, Geelong. So I've got them in second place. And in first place, I have the Brisbane Lions, who have added, I've been well publicised with this many times, Josh Dunkley, Jack Gunston, Will Ashcroft, and Jasper Fletcher. 4 huge ins. They're going so well with their club and their list that you might not see Jasper Fletcher get many games if I'm sure you get a few, but you won't get many, you would think, providing there's no injuries, because Dunkley, Ashcroft, Neal, Zorko, McCluggage, Berry, that midfield is stacked. Jasper Fletcher may not get a game. Will Ashcroft, they've been talking about, he might even get named on the bench. So it shows how strong their team is. I think Ashcroft will be on the ground, by the way, if that matters. But yeah, they're going to be dominant again. Gunston is a great get. Dunkley is a freaking awesome get as well. The Lions are going to be hard to beat in season 2023, which is why I have them finishing in first place. Leave your thoughts down below, guys, on my ladder predictions. I'll go through it one more time. 18th, we got the Hawks. 17th, the Eagles. 16th, the Roos. 15th, the Bombers. 14th, the Giants. 13th, the Crows. 12th, the Bulldogs. 11th, the Tigers. 10th, Carlton. 9 Gold Coast, the top 8, 8th place Port, 7th place Saints, 6th place Pies, 5th Melbourne, 4th Fremantle, 3rd Sydney, 2nd Geelong, and 1st Brisbane.